You open your laptop with a simple plan. Learn one useful thing about artificial intelligence. Maybe you want help writing an email, creating an image, or simply understanding what everyone else seems to know already. So you search for a tutorial. The first video says the tool you chose is already outdated. The second shows a system that looks 10 times more advanced. Then someone explains how they automated half their job, built an app without knowing how to code, and now manage digital agents while drinking a cocktail on a beach. 5 minutes ago, you wanted to learn one useful thing. Now you feel as if the future has already moved on without you. You came looking for a tool, but you found a race you did not know you were running. Nothing about your actual ability changed during those 5 minutes, but the standard you were using to judge yourself changed completely. Humans do not experience competence as a simple number. We estimate it by comparing ourselves with a reference, what the task requires, what other people seem able to do, and what we believe someone like us should already be capable of. AI can disturb all three references at once. The task keeps changing. The people we compare ourselves with are not a normal sample, and every new capability quietly raises the definition of what counts as enough. That is how a technology that expands human ability can also create a persistent feeling of falling behind. At first, learning AI seems manageable. You practice asking better questions and gradually begin to feel more confident. Then you discover image generation, then video, then voice, automation, coding, agents, and a new model that performs in seconds the task you spent last week learning how to do manually. Every answer opens another door, and behind that door are 12 more doors, 3 new tutorials, and someone explaining that doors are no longer the future. Usually, learning gives us a stable sense of competence. The task stays roughly the same while our ability improves. A new program looks confusing until its buttons stop feeling like random symbols. Progress becomes visible because the reference stays still long enough for us to approach it. With AI, the reference often moves while we are learning. The tools change, the possible uses multiply, and the definition of being good at AI expands before it ever becomes clear. Researchers use the term technostress for the strain people can experience when technology creates more complexity, uncertainty, or demands than they feel able to manage. When the system keeps changing, control becomes harder to feel. You may be more capable than you were 6 months ago, but learning also reveals possibilities you could not see before. Your knowledge grows alongside your awareness of everything you do not know. It's like climbing a hill and discovering only at the top that you were standing in front of a mountain range. The climb was real, it simply changed your view. This creates a strange result. More knowledge can temporarily produce less confidence. Yesterday, knowing how to use a chatbot felt advanced. Today, after seeing agents, automation, and custom systems, the same ability can feel basic. Your skill did not shrink, the measuring stick grew. But if no one can learn everything, why does it look as if everyone else already has? Because online, you rarely meet everyone else. You meet their best result. One person shows an impressive image, another demonstrates an automation. Someone else claims to save 10 hours every week, while another predicts the next major change with total confidence. These may be different people with different professions, resources, goals, and experience, but the feed places them next to one another, and your mind quietly combines them. It creates one impossible human. This person can write, code, design, automate, edit video, run a business, understand every new model, and explain all of it in a 40-second clip. They never seem confused. They never spend 3 hours solving a problem caused by one missing checkbox. They simply appear,
Announce that the future has arrived and ask why you are still doing things manually. But this person does not exist. You are not comparing yourself with one individual. You are comparing yourself with a person assembled from everyone else's best result. Humans often use other people as reference points when there's no clear objective standard. AI has no single exam that tells you whether you are keeping up, so other people become the exam. Online platforms do not show a neutral sample of ordinary ability. Slow progress is less likely to be posted, confusing failures are harder to package, and average experiments are less likely to be recommended. What rises to the surface is usually clearer, faster, newer, more surprising, or more successful. That does not make it fake, it makes it selected. And selection changes what looks normal. One extraordinary result still feels extraordinary. 20 extraordinary results in a row can begin to feel like the minimum. Your unfinished experiment is compared with someone else's edited demonstration. Your private confusion is compared with their public certainty. Your ordinary Tuesday afternoon is competing with the best moment from thousands of people. Because each person specializes in something different, the standard becomes impossible. The designer makes your images look weak. The programmer makes your automation look primitive. The entrepreneur makes your progress look slow. No single person is beating you at everything, but the feed can make it feel as if someone is. Once that imaginary expert becomes the standard, every new thing AI can do starts to look like something you should already be doing.
This is where possibility changes shape. At first, the thought is exciting. I could use AI for this. Then it becomes practical. I probably should use AI for this. And eventually, it becomes a judgment. Everyone else is already using AI for this. Imagine that you need to write one short article. A tool helps you create a first draft faster. Good. But now you also know that you could generate 10 versions, translate them, turn them into videos, create images, schedule them automatically, analyze the response, and repeat the process every week. The tool removed one task and immediately handed you a clipboard with your new responsibilities. More options are not always bad, but new capacity often changes expectations. When something becomes easier, people may begin to expect more output, speed, or quality. The time saved does not necessarily feel like free time. It can become room for additional work. Once you know that AI can help you write, design, translate, edit, and automate, not using it can begin to feel like wasting an advantage. Every possibility becomes a small accusation. You could have produced more. You could have learned faster. You could have automated that. And when the options are difficult to compare, choosing one can feel risky. What if you learn the wrong system? What if a better model arrives next week? So instead of using a tool, you research tools. Instead of finishing the task, you redesign the workflow. Instead of feeling more capable, you become a full-time manager of possibilities. The more AI expands what humans can do, the more it can expand what humans believe they are failing to do. And that reveals what the feeling of being behind is actually measuring. We usually treat it as a direct message about ability: move faster, learn more, catch up. But competence is being judged against 3 moving references. The task changes while you learn it. The social standard is built from exceptional, selected results, and the performance standard rises every time a new capability appears. Imagine a race where the finish line moves every week. Your opponent has 20 arms because they were built from thousands of different people, and the scoreboard adds a new category every 30 seconds. You might conclude that you need to run faster, but speed is not the main problem. The scoreboard is broken. This does not mean every concern about AI is imaginary. Jobs may change, some skills may lose value, and access to tools or education is not equal. There are real reasons to pay attention.
But the feeling of being behind is not a precise measurement of how well someone is adapting. A person can be learning, experimenting, improving, and doing more than they could 6 months ago, while still feeling inadequate, because the references used to judge that progress keep moving.
And now we return to the person sitting in front of the laptop. The original tool is still open. The original task is still waiting. During those 5 minutes, the person did not lose a skill. No one evaluated their work. No machine replaced them. Nothing in their actual ability became worse. What changed was the measuring stick. A simple task was replaced by an entire world of possibilities. One beginner was compared with thousands of specialists, and learning something useful became keeping up with the future. That is why feeling behind can be so convincing. It takes a real experience, rapid change, new tools, uncertain consequences, and measures it against a standard that no individual could ever satisfy. Maybe the greatest challenge of the age of AI is not learning fast enough. Maybe it is deciding what is actually worth learning before the rest of the world decides that everything is urgent. Because you cannot keep up with every tool, every model, every workflow, and every possible future. But you can decide which race is yours, and until you do, it is very easy to feel as if you are losing a race you never chose to enter.
For more explorations of the strange forces shaping human behavior, subscribe to Human Watching. It really helps the channel.